Hello guys, this is Om Shetty, SE coordinator at ISMSN. So today we'll learn about MQTT protocol. Have you seen those smart home systems where you can get the temperature of a given room with just a tap on your smartphone? Do you want to know what makes it possible? The answer is MQTT. MQTT stands for Message Querying Telemetry Transport. It is a lightweight publish subscribe network protocol that transports messages between devices. But what is a network protocol? Network protocols are a set of rules, conventions, and data structures that dictate how devices exchange data across networks. In other words, network protocols can be equated to languages that two devices must understand for seamless communication of information, regardless of their infrastructure and design disparities. There are various types of network protocol, for example, MQTT, HTTP, TCP/IP, and many more. We use the network protocol to send the data across two devices. A data packet is a unit of data made into a single package that travels along a given network path. Data packet has the following three parts: the header, which contains the sender and receiver's address; the payload, which is the data which we want to send across the network; the trailer is the end part which is used to signify the end of a data packet. For example, data packets can be thought of conceptually to postal packages. The header is the box or envelope, the payload is the box or envelope's content, and the trailer is the signature. Now we'll learn about the characteristics of MQTT. MQTT is a lightweight protocol because all its messages have a small code footprint. Each message contains a fixed header of 2 Mbps and a message payload of 256 megabytes. MQTT also consumes low power because of the low amount of data that is being transferred. Also, it maintains a persistent connection, therefore avoiding the overhead of establishing a connection for each published item of data, and hence requiring a very low power to fulfill this. MQTT works on a publisher subscriber model. So, as to understand this, we need to understand its basic parts. Message is an entity that gets exchanged between the publisher, broker, and the subscriber. The type of message that is being transmitted is called a topic. The broker is the central server that buffers data and publishes them to the subscriber according to the topic to which the subscriber has subscribed. Then you have the client, which either subscribes or publishes the data. Subscriber consumes the message and registers it to the broker, and hence the broker pushes the message accordingly. Publisher is the one that generates the message. It creates the message and assigns it to the topic and then sends it to the broker. Now that you have understood the various parts of a publish subscriber model, let's learn how all of this comes together so that the whole system works. First, the client connects it to the broker. It can subscribe to any message topic in the broker. A client publishes messages under a topic by sending the message and the topic to the broker. The broker then forwards the message to all clients that subscribe to this topic. I will give you an example so that you understand this. Consider the class teacher as a broker, the college office as a publisher, students as the subscribers. Here, a student wants a notice, so he asks the teacher for it. The college office publishes the notice to the teacher, and then the teacher sends it to the subscriber, that are the students. You might be wondering, why is MQTT used for IoT, that is Internet of Things? Firstly, the publish subscribe protocol specializes in connecting low bandwidth devices with limited CPUs and with a very little overhead, making it an excellent solution for connecting and communicating between small number of low energy devices and a central hub. Secondly, the protocol is also useful for dealing with high amounts of lag or latency or unstable conditions, as MQTT transmits only up to 256 MB of data per message, and smaller data payloads are less affected by latency than the large ones are. It's able to transmit small chunks of data quickly and efficiently without requiring much help from the device, the hub, or from the network connection. Now that you have learned the theoretical part, it's time to apply it in a practical way. And for that, we need to open the Arduino IDE where we write the code. I have my Arduino IDE open now. Here I have written a code which I am going to upload to my Node MCU, and this will act as a MQTT publisher. Then I have this Python code which will act as a MQTT subscriber, and it will receive the data. Since it is a lightweight protocol, hence we can send data from any part of the world and receive it anywhere. In this code, I am sending a message that is ISF asset. Now let's try to upload the code. It usually takes some few seconds to 1 minute to upload the entire code onto the Node MCU. As you can see, the code is successfully uploaded. Now we'll run the Python code and see if we can receive the message that we sent through the Node MCU. So as you can see here, we have received our message that is ISF asset. Amazing, isn't it? Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys understood the concept and found it interesting and insightful. Let us know your suggestions and queries, if any, in the comments below. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, goodbye.